Welcome. This is Yoga for Beekeepers. Hi, I'm Lacey and owner of Bee Wise Farms and one of the founders of the Heroes to Hives program. I am also a yoga instructor of 13 years and a beekeeper. We know as we go into the bee yard that there are so many things happening. The body moves in various ways, and we need certain muscles in order to protect our body as we go into the apiaries. Today, we will go through those movements and some things to help you arm yourself as you move into the apiary. We're going to start today lying on our backs, and as you'll see through this practice, we're going to go through areas of the body while we're laying down, while we're seated, and then while we're standing. And I'll give a little bit more instruction of how to use those specific places prior to going into the apiary. So when you're ready, take your time and go ahead and lie down on your backs. These movements are for everyone. You don't have to be practicing yoga for the last several years in order to become more aware of what your body's doing in places of movement, in places of labor. These are just moments, opportunities to enhance and engage our own personal bodies. Right? What's happening when we're moving in an apiary, when we're moving a box from one when we're taking a box off and moving it to a different location to do inspections. What's our waist doing? What's our back doing? And that's all this is, right? Every movement is an opportunity to explore where you're at and where we can begin to practice in ways that benefit those areas most. So as we come to a flat back, knees can be up, feet can be on the ground. If there's any discomfort within the lower back, place the feet on the ground. And just start to breathe. Take a few breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Notice the back connect to the ground. As you breathe, observe the shallowness or the length of the breath. The eyes can close or stay open. This practice is for you, wherever you are most comfortable. If you are okay with lengthening the legs, stretch them out for a moment. As though you are just starting to wake up, maybe lengthen the arms above your head. Take a moment to wiggle through the ankles and the wrists. Rotations through those ankles. Wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers, waking the body up. And when you're ready, taking one leg back to the floor, one foot back to the floor, the other foot back to the floor. So I'm going to mention this area briefly, and when we come up to a standing position or to a seated position, we'll go into it a little bit more. But there is an area of our body called the pelvic floor. And the pelvic floor is comprised of several areas. But for now, as we move on our backs, take a moment to just activate the core. Just kind of push it out, move it in, drop back toward the spine, all while maintaining a deep breath. Notice the areas of the hips. Take a moment as you take a deep inhalation and draw in the lower belly. And exhale, let it go. Let the hands rest wherever they're most comfortable. And we'll begin just by taking the knees down to one side of the floor. Notice the core. Engage that lower belly. Draw the knees up. Take them down to the other side. For obvious reasons, this pose is called windshield wipers. We're continuing to maintain an active core, but dropping the knees down to one side or the other. There's no rush. You can move at this the way you choose. If you wish to engage the neck, if it feels comfortable to engage the neck, moving in the opposite direction of the knees. So as the knees drop down to the left, I quite possibly could move my neck to the right side. Okay. So waking the hips up. We're waking up the belly. We're waking up the back. We're letting it know we're here. And down to the other side. Inhale up. And just take a moment to observe. Maybe the legs lengthen back out. Maybe they stay feet to the ground. Take a moment. Maybe stretch. Notice what's happening for you. And when you're ready, hands come back down to the side of the body, feet to the ground, knees in the air. So again, coming back to that place of the pelvic floor of the hips, are going to activate the spine, activate the core, activate the legs before we come to our easy seat or seated position. So with the hands down to the earth, we're going to place the feet into the ground. We don't want to press with the toes in this position. We're going to move into a bridge pose. We don't want to press with the toes. This can put pressure onto the knees and the kneecaps. So making sure that all of the feet, including the heels, are pressed down onto the earth. On your inhale, we begin to lift through the hips, but we want to ensure that the pelvic floor and the belly is active. So just draw the belly back to the spine. And on your inhale, lift the hips into the air. Regardless of how far we come up, that doesn't matter. We're engaging, we're exploring, and we're gaining a bit of awareness of where we're at. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Really important here to keep the neck in line with the spine. So if you do have, hear my dog moving, wrestling around, maybe you have kids that move into the side of you or folks asking you questions, just ensuring that the neck stays in line rather than turning it from one side to another here. And exhaling down. Inhaling up. Maybe you find that the body begins to lift a little more. Exhaling down, ensuring that the core is active. Inhaling up. Just a couple more here. Feel the feet. Exhale down. On the next one, we're going to hold for just about 5 seconds. When you're ready, plant the feet in the ground on the inhale, lift the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and let it go. Just a few breaths here, moving side to side, knees to the ground. Inhaling up, active core, knees to the other side. Inhaling up, and let it rest for the moment. Just let yourself be right here. On your time and when you're ready, we will come to a seated position. And there are several ways to do this without leaping up, maintaining complete awareness of the core, potentially dropping the knees down to one side and rolling the body over. I'll see you in your easy seat. Welcome to your easy seat. However that looks for you. You can be legs out. You can be sitting up against a wall. You're at home. Be comfortable. Be where you need to be. Again, eyes never have to be closed in yoga. For some, it's not a safe place, and that's okay. That's what this practice is about. Embodiment, learning more, and exploring where we show up in the places we engage in. I want to talk about the pelvic floor because it's so very important. Every movement that we make on the mat, off the mat, in the apiary, washing dishes, doing laundry, whatever it looks like, we're working our pelvic floor. We're using this place in our body. As women, we are taught to do our kegels, right? That's this small area between the genitals, this perineum, and it sits right between the genitals. The pelvic floor is like a bowl of muscles, right? So you have genitals, front and back, perineum, this middle part, and then right below those three areas, you have this bowl, and it's comprised of all of these different muscles that make spine functioning, that makes the digestive system work correctly, right? And increases core functioning, which protects the back. And so that's why we're working it. That's why we're continuing to explore it and engage it, because it is so vitally important to the health of our body. So let's take a moment. We need to really focus on not holding our breath while the pelvic floor is engaged, because that puts pressure on the pelvic floor. So if you engage the pelvic floor, we're lifting of this area, the lower belly becomes automatically engaged. But automatically, if you hold the breath, it presses that pelvic floor down. So we're going to work on engaging the pelvic floor, lifting of this bowl of muscles, and then also maintaining the breath. When you're ready, just take a few deep breaths in. No worries about what's happening at the moment. Just take a breath. Let the shoulders fall down the back. If you're locked jaw, let that loosen up a little bit. One more deep breath in. And then come to the pelvic floor. Engage. Let it lift. Notice the lower belly become active. And then let the breath out while we still hold. Don't worry if it's not coming, right? Don't worry if all of a sudden in this one moment we aren't able to engage. Just become aware of it. Let the belly fold out on the exhale. And then draw it back in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, draw the pelvic floor up, engage the lower belly automatically. And exhale. As we strengthen the core, the backs become more stable. If you're not doing any core work and going into the apiary, you're putting your backs at risk. Bottom line. If we're not working the core and we're moving into the apiary, especially if you already have back issues, especially if you already have knee, hip, shoulder issues, work the core. Start with the core. Little bitty movements. While you're laying on the back, light leg lifts. Little movements make a world of difference when we go into that apiary and start working the body. So, got the pelvic floor. We've just woken it up a little bit more than we were laying down on the ground. Laying down is the easiest place to find the pelvic floor because there's no gravity. We stand up, we sit up, there's gravity on the body. So work those areas, work those breaths, that awareness while you're laying on the back. Take a moment to let the hands fall. Again, it does not matter how you're sitting, right? But for a moment, just bring our awareness to the hips. There is a place of sitting. We don't necessarily want to be here, right? We want to be able to come up a bit on the sits bones. So One way to do that is to take a hold of all of our goodness from behind and just draw it out. Pull out the muscles of the buttocks. Okay. You may feel the pelvic tilt just slightly. If this is not working for you, feel free to prop yourself up. Sit on a pillow. Sit on a blanket. Sit up against the wall so that we can maintain the structure of the back. Take a deep breath. And let the shoulders fall down the back. Another deep breath. And the shoulders fall. Allow the hands to either plant into the thighs or onto the mat. And begin to roll your shoulders. I hope you can hear me over the snore of the dog on my mat. But we're just going to roll through the shoulders. I will do my best to talk a little louder. Okay, one at a time, both at the same time, it does not matter. The idea is exploration. The idea is awareness. So that when we go into the apiary, when we begin moving these boxes, sometimes with little time, that we have an understanding of the body that is different, that is enhanced. Move in the other direction. If you've moved back, move forward. Take the hands down to the ground if that's easier. Don't restrict your movement. Let your body just kind of flow. Continue the breath. Inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, take a deep breath in and draw the shoulders up to the ears. And let it go. One more. And let it go. Working through the neck, right? How often are we bent over in this position, looking into hives? How often are we picking things up and moving first, right? All of these things affect all of the ways we will come out of that apiary feeling. So take a moment to move through the neck. We want to ensure that we're not coming down through the spine, but rather we are staying somewhat straight and the chin comes down toward the chest. Inhale, just slowly start to make a U shape with the chin. Just nice and easy. All while maintaining inhales and exhales, coming neutral and just side to side. Just side to side. Okay. And then come neutral once again, and with the tip of your nose, just draw some really small circles in the air. And then in the other direction. And come to neutral. Right ear to right shoulder. If it is helpful to have the left arm down, fingers to the mat, and the right arm, right hand supporting the head, we don't want to yank. We don't want to put pressure. We want to support if that's necessary, if that's helpful. If you're here and you're feeling it already, breathe. Inhale to neutral. Let the right hand come out, fingertips to the ground, left ear down. Inhale to neutral, and right ear, right shoulder. Inhale to neutral. And left side last time. And inhale to neutral. So we're going to go through some very simple, easy twists. And when I say simple and easy, I mean no pressure on yourself, no strain on your body. Easy meaning ease into it, right? Not that it's going to be an easy pose. You may find we get into this position and you're going, well, this isn't easy at all. Be easy in it. It may not be the easiest thing to do, right? But be easy in it. Let your body soften in these places. And that's where we're going to go, moving into these easy twists. So allow the arms to lengthen for a moment. Just kind of feel what that is, what that does. Let the arms lengthen. Feel the movement of the back of the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. On the next inhale, allow for the right hand to come down to the ground and the left hand to lift. We're not lifting out of the shoulder blade. We're staying very rooted inside the back of the shoulders. Deep breath. Let the neck be where it needs to be. Maybe it's more comfortable looking down. Maybe it's more comfortable looking up or neutral. This is your practice. Inhale, engage the pelvic floor and lift. Exhale, drop that right hand, lengthen up through that right. Notice what the core is doing here. Inhale, activate the pelvic floor, draw it up into the lower body. Draw it up into the torso. Engage the pelvic floor and lift. We're going to move through here on our own breath when you're ready. Deep breaths. Oftentimes when I'm doing this with folks, breaths are a little different here. It may feel more comfortable for you to exhale as you go down versus inhale, and that's fine. Move with your breath though. With every breath, whether it be inhaling or exhaling, take that next movement. You may find it helpful to lift on the inhale because we have more direction and more activity in the core. Let it go. Just a couple more breaths. And on that next inhale, exhale, let it go. When we're in the apiary, think about all the times that you twist, all the times that you work into the spine and the core. It's so often, from picking up empty boxes to inspections to simple organization of your apiary. Lifting of honey boxes, oh my gosh, they're so heavy. Right? How do we move? Do we just go in there and move through it so fast and almost aggressively to our bodies? Can we make this a sustainable practice, a sustainable time in the apiary for our bees and our bodies and our minds? So come with me through twists for a moment. Again, very easy on yourself. Twist with ease. To start, allow the right hand to come behind you. Allow the left hand to come to the right knee. Let the shoulders drop. Right here, is a twist. If this is where your body is most comfortable, stay, explore, breathe. Take a deep breath in if you'd like to go a little bit deeper. And we're just gonna gently begin to take the head over to that right side. Deep, full breaths. Inhale. And exhale, come back to center. Right? You may even be feeling something from that, and that's okay. We're waking it up. Left hand comes behind you, right hand, left knee. Let the shoulders drop. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. And turn if you wish. Head goes toward that left side. With ease. Inhale. Locate that core and come back to center. We will be transitioning to standing. Taking your time to get there. See you in just a moment. Before we come to standing, take a moment to come to hands and knees if it's comfortable for the knees. Right? A lot of times wrists are one of the big issues in movement practices and yoga practices because we're on them. And it's just, it puts pressure in places that we don't normally do that. Feel free to come onto your knuckles if that is most comfortable. I just want to take a moment to kind of move through the waist. Feel what's happening through the spine, through the core, right? We were laying down on our back, sitting on the floor. Just kind of move through this position. Right? As we inhale, the head can come up, the belly can slightly drop. As we exhale, the head drops. The shoulders begin to lift, potentially the spine rounds slightly. Inhale and exhale. Just a couple more. Inhale and exhale. And inhale to neutral. And just find a movement, find a wiggle. Find one side, find the next. What's the hips doing? What are the hips doing? What's the spine doing? How do the shoulders feel for you after just a bit of movement? When you're ready, allow yourself to sit and come to that standing position. So today you're going into the apiary. Taking a moment to ground in, to come to our breath, taking the feet and allowing them to be into the ground. What do the knees do immediately as we stand? Do they lock? Do they bend? Do they rotate in? By becoming more aware of our body and how it moves in these places will only benefit us. It can only increase how we go into the apiary and how we come out, how we're feeling after moving all day in those tough places. Take a moment to feel the feet. Potentially go up to the toes, come back to the heels, rock a bit back and forth. What are the knees doing now? How do the ankles feel? If you are someone who has injuries in these areas, increasing awareness increases your strength. Allow the feet to ground in. Take it up to the knees as we plant our feet. It is very common as we come into a standing position for the knees to roll inward. very common. We can activate the thighs, literally engage them as though we're drawing them up. And it creates this movement of an outer rotation of the knees. Find that rotation. What's happening in the hips? What's happening to the lower back right now as we stand and begin to move through the adjustments of the legs? My position that I come to typically looks a little something like this when I'm really stressed, right? My knees are locked, my hips are forward, my back is strained. How do we find stability in the yard, in the apiary? How many times do we come to a box and we're moving other places before our bodies move? How do we support ourselves better? Stand. Lift up the shoulders, roll them back down. Notice any creaking or cracking. It's all okay. We're waking it up. Take a moment to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. All we're doing right now is standing. Increasing our awareness of the patterns of our body, especially after injury. From the feet, into the ankles, to the knees, into the hips. In this moment, activate the pelvic floor, that place we've been discussing, that bowl of muscles. Draw it up into the body. On that inhale. Keep it drawn up as you exhale. You'll feel the lower belly stay active. Inhale. And let it go. It's a muscle. Those bowls of muscles, that little bowl of muscle, it's going to get tired very easily, especially if we're not used to working it. So before going into your apiary, take a moment. Activate the pelvic floor. Get used to feeling what the core engagement feels like. And by coming to that practice slowly, whether it's in the evenings, in the mornings, and then before you go in, or all at once, we begin to build that awareness and different muscle memory. Thank you for joining me today and for all you do for those pollinators out there. I hope you join again soon. Many blessings.